School is back, and Dick's Sporting Goods has what you need to win your year. We've got everything from cleats to Sambas, dunks, and more. Plus, the hottest looks from Nike, Jordan, and Adidas. Find your first day fits in-store or online at dicks.com.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Baker's, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Baker's worth it every time. Baker's, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Want to teach your kids financial literacy, but not sure where to start? Greenlight can help. With Greenlight, parents can keep an eye on kids' spending and saving, while kids and teens use a card of their own to build money confidence. As a parent, you can send instant money transfers, set up chores, automate allowance, and more. It's a convenient way to run your household, customized to your family's needs, and the easy way to raise financially smart kids. Get started with Greenlight today and get your first month free at greenlight.com/Spotify.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. From the launch your online shop stage, all the way to the we just hit 1 million orders stage. No matter what stage you're in, Shopify's there to help you grow. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/special offer, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/special offer.
Welcome back to Rams Up, your favorite LA Rams podcast. We are part of the Fans First Sports Network. You can follow us on our YouTube channel as well at LA Rams Up. I'm your host, Mark. I'll be joined occasionally by my football gurus, Paul and Ian. Let's get to it. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Mark from Rams Up here. I have another episode of our Rams Fans Rap Sessions, and I have with me today Rich Schultz. How you doing, Rich?
Very good, Mark. Pleasure to be here.
Now, I've had guests for this segment that we do here, trying to cover every state, a Ram fan from every state. We got Mexico as well, too. We've had Dave Roulard from South Carolina, John Perry from Washington, Ernesto Salgado from Mexico. Rich, tell everybody where you're from.
I am from Fountain Hill, Pennsylvania.
And whereabouts is that Fountain Hill?
Right outside. It's about 60 miles. Well, actually, probably about 50 miles north of Philadelphia.
Oh, okay. Is that Nittany Lion country?
Yeah, pretty much Nittany Lion
Yeah.
country. Yep. I'm a Nittany Lion fan. I went to Penn State, actually.
Oh, okay, good. Now, how did you become a Rams fan?
Well, back in the day when I first started playing football, I was one of those bigger kids. So I started defensive tackle, then played defensive end, and that's back when the Rams had Merlin Olsen was 13 or 14-year All-Pro. Of course, he wasn't done his career yet then, but yeah, basically the Rams. I loved their uniforms. They always had a good defense, and quite frankly, the Eagles fans were kind of mouthy for how good the team was doing back in those days.
Yeah, and I guess the jerseys you have behind you, for those of you listening on the podcast, Rosie Greer and Deacon Jones jerseys behind you there, pretty good choices. Yeah,
these are actually pillows I had made online of each one of the foursome fearsome. So
yeah, the way you had them laid out there, I thought they were jerseys. Good call. Okay, and so you grew up in Pennsylvania then, right?
Yes, I grew up in Allentown, Pennsylvania, which is 10 minutes away from here.
Oh, and that's the song of Billy.
Exactly.
It's a town, yep. Billy Joel's Allentown, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I was actually, my roots are South Jersey. My mom was from Philadelphia, but we moved to California when I was like a month old. So I do have sort of kind of Pennsylvania roots. So let's see. So you played football yourself then in what, high school?
High school.
Yeah.
Not in college. I actually went in the service right out of high school. I was in the Navy, And I played there, but we played, of course, like touch football and flag football. I didn't go to college till after I got out of the service.
Oh, okay.
I was 33 by the time I went back to college.
So let's see. When did you start following the Rams? In the 60s?
No,
I don't
probably
want to. I don't want
70s.
to. I don't want to just flat out ask you how old you are. I'm trying to. So in the 1970s, the Jack
Early
Youngblood, Fred
70s.
Dryer days. Okay.
Yeah, I remember like the first jerseys I bought were Harold Jackson and Isaiah Robertson. So when they were playing, and Roman Gabriel was playing, so probably the early 70s, I guess, is when I first started following.
So you grew up in Eagle Country, obviously, and at some point you just caught the Rams on TV and started watching them, and it's kind of a similar story I've heard from some other Ram fans, from like Paul Walia, who's a regular guest on our show. He he just fell in love with the uniforms, and I think John Perry from Washington, that was kind of his story as well. And it makes sense. Their uniforms are just so iconic, and a lot of fans just follow them for that reason. I can start in on my questions here, my 6 questions. Before I do that, how do you feel about the Rams this year? You got any take on how their season might go?
I'm expecting them to do well. I mean, obviously injuries is always a concern so far. The preseason, knock on wood, those guys are all coming back. But as long as they stay healthy, I expect them to do well. I think, the defense with all those rookies they've had, they seem to be talented and fast, which, speed can sometimes make up for for mistakes. So that's why I'm expecting them to do well. Seems like beginning of the season they had kind of a tough road there with some of those teams, but I still expect them to do well.
Yeah, you're right. It's all about how healthy they can stay, and it's a little concerning right now. But it's still a month out from opening day, so I'll be more concerned about injuries in 2 or 3 weeks if things don't start to improve. One question I had for you. It's a little different for fans that live in places like Pennsylvania and Washington. When the Rams moved to St. Louis, that really had no impact on how you felt about the team.
Exactly. It didn't matter to me, right?
Yeah, and then they moved back to LA. It's just that's kind of when I was a Rams fan growing up. I've told this story a little bit. I think I was originally upset when they moved to Anaheim for whatever reason, and then I saw the uniforms, saw them on TV, and I couldn't help myself rooting for them. So when they moved to St. Louis, I just told myself, don't try to fool yourself. You're going to still root for them. And that's what I did. And fortunately, they came back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'll throw some questions at you. I try to keep this consistent. You may have already heard some of these questions, so you'll be ready for them. How many games have you been to now? Being in Pennsylvania, I guess your opportunities are, occasionally they get to New York and Philadelphia, obviously, Pittsburgh once every, 4 or 8 years. Have you been able to get to any games?
Yeah, I've been to probably about a dozen games. Actually, I had to see, the new stadium there, SoFi. So I flew out with my son-in-law to see the Rams play the Eagles this past season. Didn't turn out how we wanted. They gave up that last second touchdown at the half, or I think the Rams probably would have pulled that one out. But and I used to travel for work a lot, so anytime I was traveling, I would take in a game if it worked out. Like I saw the St. Louis Rams play Cleveland in St. Louis. That's where Marshall Faulk. You still see that play on the NFL Network sometimes, where he makes 2 juke moves and scores a touch, and that was an unbelievable run.
Yeah, that goes down as one of the greatest runs I've ever seen. And I know exactly which play you're talking about. And when they talk about, whenever I see Marshall Faulk highlights or, these countdowns of the greatest running backs ever, they usually use that play because it's pretty representative of what a great running back he was.
Yeah, and I had to get, I bought tickets the day of the game outside the stadium. So I ended up sitting surrounded by Browns fans and my Rams stuff. And they were trying to give me crap, but that didn't last too long because the Rams kind of took over that game. And after that run, especially, they kind of kept their mouth shut.
Question number 2, and you may have already given this away, maybe not. Who is your favorite Ram player of all time?
I've heard you ask that, and I don't know that I can limit it to one. I mean, if you talk about different decades, Merlin Olsen was up there, and Harold Jackson and Roman Gabriel, liked all those guys. And then, of course, there was Marshall Faulk, and Kurt Warner, Isaac Bruce, Henry Ellard, Eric Dickerson. Here's a name for you. Do you remember Jim Bertelson at all?
Yes, I do.
He was never necessarily a great running back. Man, that guy was tough. I used to admire the way he ran, and he really stuck his nose in there, blocking everything. He was a tough player.
Now, I'm trying to remember, he was always kind of a second fiddle guy. Was it second fiddle to Lawrence McCutcheon?
Yeah, he was more like a fullback, second
Right,
fiddle guy. Yep.
right. Yeah, I do remember him. Yeah. When I get asked that question, I have the same issue. I have a favorite player from, I love Nolan Cromwell.
I have a Nolan Cromwell signed jersey.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I just, gravitated towards him. And then, the greatest show on turf, Torrey and Isaac. And then now, how can you not fall in love with Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua?
Right.
And,
right.
There's just so many great players.
Tom Mack, I got his autograph I went to the Hall of Fame induction ceremony for Kurt Warner. And then I got a signed helmet from Tom Mack, and my son got one from Kurt Warner. So I got to shake their hand. I got to shake Eric Dickerson's hand and Jackie Slater. Good time.
Yeah. Eric Dickerson is actually a pretty nice guy. My daughter sent me I don't know if you've ever seen those. You can, I don't know if they're still around. You can have a star or a movie star, athlete, whatever, send a happy birthday video.
Yeah, I've seen those.
And my daughter had one, Eric Dickerson, record one for myself when the Rams were still in St. Louis, and I still have it. It's pretty cool. And Tom Mack and Paul Wally and I have talked about this before. He is one of the greatest interior offensive linemen ever, and a lot of people outside of Los Angeles Ram fans don't even know about him, and because that team always fall a little bit short.
Yeah.
In the playoffs, but man, he was good.
Yeah.
And so who do you think, this is my third question, who do you think is the greatest Ram of all time? And it's kind of tough as well, it gets into a decade thing, an era thing, but who are you going with here?
Probably go with Merlin Olsen just because the number of times he made All-Pro. He has the record, I believe, for the NFL for a number of times All-Pro or Pro Bowl or whatever. I think it's like 13 or 14 times, So that's
and
what I would go with.
He played so many years for the Rams too. And and not that it matters when you're evaluating players, but like so many great Rams, just a stand-up guy too,
Right.
just a gentleman. There are stories about him, the difference between Merlin Olsen on and off the field, night and day. But pretty good guy.
This episode is brought to you by our good friends at NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube TV. I'm sure by now you've all gotten back into your Sunday routines, but they could be even better. With NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV, you get the most live NFL games all in one place, every game, every Sunday, and you can even watch up to 4 different games at once with multi-view, one of my favorite inventions of this decade. It's exactly what you need to catch all the action. Make your Sundays more magical. And also, YouTube TV is great. I got it this year. It's awesome. Sign up now at youtube.com/BS. Device and content restrictions apply. Local and national games on YouTube TV. NFL Sunday Ticket for out-of-market games excludes digital-only games.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Baker's, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Baker's worth it every time. Baker's, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. From the launch your online shop stage, all the way to the we just hit 1 million orders stage. No matter what stage you're in, Shopify's there to help you grow. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/special offer, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/special offer.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
Question number 4, who is your most underappreciated Ram of all time? You already mentioned Bertelsen. Is that what you're going with here, Bertelsen?
No, Bertelsen I don't think was good enough to be underappreciated. He was just really tough, and he did what was asked of him, but I wouldn't say he was good enough to be the most underappreciated. I'm going to go with, this is tough too. I don't think Havenstein gets the credit he deserves for how long he's been there, and they won a Super Bowl with him playing there. He plays all the time. But maybe Torrey Holt hasn't made the Hall of Fame, and he certainly deserves to be there, so maybe he's underappreciated a little bit.
Yeah. Havenstein, Big Rob, man, you're right. He has just been very consistent. You don't hear his name called very much. And if you're a right tackle and you're not getting your name called, that's a good thing. And I'll never forget when I went to Irvine, one of the training, the one mini camp day I went to, and Andrew Whitworth was there and Havenstein was there. And after camp ended, the practice ended, those two remained on the field for an extra half hour, 45 minutes, just going over some hand techniques and stuff. And it was really interesting to watch that. I almost felt that, that was maybe a passing of the torch moment there, where Whitworth is trying to elevate Havenstein's game, because Whitworth was going to be around that much longer. And Whitworth did that a lot. I saw that whole day he was a coach on the field. But back to your point, yeah, Havenstein, I don't think he's ever been made a Pro Bowl. He's always been just very good,
Yeah, that's what I said. He should have at least made one Pro Bowl in my mind. Maybe I'm a Rams fan, so
yeah.
But anyway.
I think a lot of Rams get overlooked. You'll see the Cowboys have a good year and they'll have 11 Pro Bowlers. And the thing about the Pro Bowl is, which really annoys me, is once you make it, if you make the Pro Bowl as a 26-year-old player, you really have to crash and burn to not make it in ensuing years. And then guys coming up a year or two later got no shot,
Right. Yeah,
Just
even like Defensive Rookie of the Year last year. How does Kobe Turner not get it when he has more sacks and more tackles? Every stat he beat, was it Williams that got it? I don't remember the guy's name. But
yeah, there was a couple of guys, I think. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
So if you justify that the quarterback got it because it's a harder position, and how does Turner not get it because he plays a harder position where it's harder to get sacks, etc.
Right. Yeah, I think there were a lot of people that agree with you there. It's just odd how that works out. It's just, to me, that was pretty blatant, pretty egregious. There's always arguments about in the award season, but that one was like a real head scratcher.
I even read somewhere where by the end of the season, his double team rate was more than Aaron Donald. So that's another reason that he should have got it versus Williams.
Yeah, absolutely. Question number 5, who was your second team? And just to be clear here, any sport, college, football, if you're not watching, who's your second team? Assuming the Rams are your first team.
Mm-hmm, of course. Yeah, I don't really follow baseball. Second team is probably Penn State football would be my second team.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that they're they got quite a history too. Mm-hmm. And they're going to they'll be traveling out to California on occasion too as well now, right?
Right. Yeah, USC, and I think there's another team, at least one other team from out there that they'll be playing. I think USC's coming to Pennsylvania this year, but they'll be eventually.
I got to do my homework on that because I keep on asking guests that question. I need to find out for myself how this new Big Ten's going to work. I'm not really clear on it myself. I know, USC, UCLA, Oregon, Washington, and which Big Ten legacy Big Ten teams are matched up with. I'm not clear on that yet, so I'll figure that out.
Yeah.
And the final question, I think this is the funnest question. What is your favorite Rams moment? The moment in their history? Could have been a game you were at, a big game-winning play, just that iconic moment.
Well, I mean, it's probably easy to pick, one of the plays that won the Super Bowl, the tackle, or Isaac Bruce's catch, or Aaron Donald's sack, But I think I'm going to go with, I can remember as a kid watching the Rams play the Seahawks back in 1979, where the Seahawks ended up with, like, I want to say -6 yards or -7 yards or something like that in total offense. That was a fun game to watch as a kid who didn't get to see a lot.
Now, what year was that?
I think it was 1979, the year the Rams played the Steelers in the Super Bowl. It's right around.
Oh, okay, you're right. So that was they had a very, very good defense in the 70s. A lot of people don't realize that. Yeah, I could.
Jim Zorn and who was there? They have the Hall of Fame receiver. Oh, Steve Largent.
Steve Largent, yeah. And that's another question where you can kind of break it up into decades. The plays I remember, Flipper Anderson running out the tunnel. I remember that one. And obviously the tackle. Aaron Donald's had a couple, more than a couple. But yeah, that's a good one.
So that Marshall
Seattle
run.
Yeah, right. And the Ricky Pearl runs. Yeah, the Ricky Pearl catch, the Cooper Cup catch against the Bucks when we thought that game was slipping away, and then that big catch against the 49ers, like the first time we ever saw like pure emotion from Cooper Cup. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I remember the game where the Rams played the Niners and broke that losing streak where Isaac Bruce had like 4 touchdowns. That was a fun game to watch as well.
Yeah, that 1999 season, it was incredible. I mean, I kept on like having to wipe my eyes. I was like, am I really seeing this? Just out of the gate, I remember they played the Ravens on opening day with Kurt Warner. Mm-hmm. And you're just thinking, I know this team's good enough. I'm trying to be an optimist. I know this team is good enough. Got to find a way to win with this new quarterback, though. And then, the ensuing weeks, they just continue to put up more and more points. It was pretty special.
Yeah, he set some kind of record as the first starting quarterback, like three touchdown passes in the first 4 games of his career or something like that.
Yeah, man, that was a special year. Okay, hey, this has been good. Rich, anything else you want to share? You planning on getting to any games in the near future?
Well, we are talking about going back to. I went to when they came to play the Giants. I went to that game this past year too. So, I'll be going somewhere. I have a brother who lives out in California, so I may go back out to SoFi for another game this year, and some friends from work, or a friend from work that's out there. So, I'll definitely be making some more games.
Hey, but it's been good talking to you, Rich.
Talking to you too. Yeah, I have thousands of Rams cards, and I have Rams yearbooks going back to like 1962 or something. So if I ever be a resource where you're doing you're looking for some information, feel free to call me or send me an email or something.
Yeah, I got a Ram cave here where I record at, and I should share it sometime. I have a smattering of plaques and photos I picked up on eBay with signatures and such. I got a running back wall here with Eric Dickerson, Marshall Falk, and my probably guy that I talk about too much, probably Steven Jackson.
Oh, I love Steven Jackson. Stuff. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he didn't get the credit he deserved either because he was on.
Yeah,
bad teams.
Absolutely. I mean, that guy was a beast.
Yeah. Yeah, my proudest possession is probably I have a mini football signed by all 4 of the fearsome foursome.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, man, good times, Rich. And thanks for taking the time to join me. And hey, maybe we'll do this again at some point. Let me know if you're ever coming out to LA. We can talk again before you come out, maybe. Sounds about good. whatever game it is you're going to. Maybe you could join us for a pregame for the game you're going to attend. Okay, man.
Sounds
great. Thanks a lot. It's been fun.
Take care.
Okay, bye. going to do it for this episode. Remember, you can reach us at ramsuppodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget about our YouTube channel. Our handle is at laramsup.com. Till next time, keep the horns up, stay safe, and have fun out there.
I'm Victoria Cash. Thanks for calling the Lucky Land Hotline. If you feel like you do the same thing every day, press 1. If you're ready to have some serious fun for the chance to redeem some serious prizes, press 2. We heard you loud and clear. So go to LuckyLandSlots.com right now and play over 100 social casino-style games for free. Get lucky today at LuckyLandSlots.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply.